Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a scrap backwards puzzler. I'll tell you why. I decided when I got up this morning that I was going to just randomly pull any one of my scrap backwards mini kits that I made left with the leftovers from my September kit, and I pulled all of those into my, I kind of left my September kit behind, did a very fall themed kit for October. When I switched over to November, December, I pulled everything that had been left over from September and a few random strange things that I thought I needed to use. So I have kind of an eclectic kit, and I'm even doing a mini book, probably 2 mini books, using that scrap backwards kit. So I randomly pulled one of my mini kits, and it's this one that has a lot of the earth tone kinds of things in it. My September kit had primarily been a very bright, summery, sunshiny, beachy, swimming pool-y, traveling kind of kit. And I'll show you the sticker sheet that started that kit. And there's not much left. Actually, there were 2. And they were both gifts from Scrappy Atom, and they're both from Simple Vintage Traveler by Simple Stories. So these were the starter kits. So I'm actually going to I'm adding right now the requirement that I will use something from each of these kits. And I also told myself I was going to use a photo that I'd already printed, and I printed just one 8.5 by 11 sheet of photos, and I had these left. This one was, I guess, right here, and I have cut it out and put foam behind it. And I was going to use the next in my line of the 12 Days of Autumn Scraplifts. I was going to do day 7 because I've done days 1 through 6. Actually, you haven't seen a couple of those because they're going to be come out on challenge accepted videos on Thursdays, but none of that matters. I was going to do this scrap lift with a photo from this sheet of photos and this kit. So I looked at my sheet of photos. I said, okay, no problem. I can create with this. Not my usual color palette, but I can go with that. Now let's see what I have in the way of photos. Well, I have these photos that are all surrounding when James and Reese were there watching the World Series and the Astros won the championship. And so I was going to do some kind of a page with those photos. And then I have this photo that's kind of a wonky photo I took for some other purpose that I realized this view down, this is the office, that's my desk with the tabletop there, and then it looks down, and there are scrapbooking supplies here, here, and then further on down at the very end of this room, which is kind of a long, and it's all one room. It's office, kitchen, bathroom, dining room, living room, and over on this side of the living room this is where I'm sitting right now and filming. So this was not appropriate for this, and this was not appropriate, the colors and so forth. So the colors are appropriate for this, and it's a goofy comparison. There's a funny story behind it there. Let me put these back where I can grab them when I actually want to make a page with them. When James first put out pictures of Reese on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever, someone sent him a photo of an Ewok. and he merged the photos together to make this little thing showing how much Reese looks like an Ewok. And so I'm going to have to work Ewok into the title, and I've got these alphas to do it with. These are the alphas that are in my Scrap Backwards kit. And I have a sheet separate from this. I have a sheet of this brown leathery looking paper that I can back that with. So I'll pull that in for good measure. And now let's get started seeing how we can do this. So the Scraplift, what I'm taking from the Scraplift is, it's got a photo kind of right here, and I'll use this as my 12 by 12 reference. It's got a photo there, and then it's got a diagonal arrangement of various sizes and patterns and styles of hearts. It's all hearts. All the embellishments are hearts, except for the little leaves and acorns that are around the word fall. And it was designed by Allison Davis, and it's gorgeous. And one of these days I'm going to do it for real because I love that design. And I have all different kinds of dies and templates and things that I can use to make hearts. So let's see what we're going to do. By virtue of this mini kit, when I put it together, the background, I suppose, was meant to be this sheet of paper here. This came from a tablet, a paper pad, and I have no idea what the brand is, but this is it's kind of got a glossy finish on this sunshine here, and it's got the little banner that says "You Are My Sunshine." It's got this little banner and a little flower up there, and I figured I could make that work because, let's say we have the Ewok and Reese here. The "You Are My Sunshine" kind of makes sense. And now I'm going to go about, I'm not going to have all hearts. I'm actually going to arrange, and I say that, I have no idea whether that's I'm going to try to arrange these miscellaneous embellishments in a diagonal, and I'll throw some hearts in just to keep the pattern. And I have this sheet of paper right here, which I have two sides to it. I might just, let's do this. Let's do it the second grade way. Let's cut a big old heart. And I'm using the wrong pair of scissors, or nope, these are the right ones. Okay, so we have our big old heart. And I can kind of arrange that. And I like that because where this has the kind of golds and browns, this kind of has the grays, so that doesn't look bad. And I have this tray of embellishments that have been carried over from that kit and that are part of my kit now. And I have a little wooden heart here. I have like a little clear crystal heart. I have a bunch of stars. and some seashells and one hibiscus. Ooh, and there's some little gold paper hearts, and then there's a sequin heart. And I have this, which is kind of in the color scheme. I have these arrows, which fit the color scheme. I can probably pull out some of these. I have to save these, most of these butterflies for the mini book that I'm making, but I can pull the beige ones out, and even this green one. And let's see, there are some driftwood arrows, which I tried to use on another project and didn't like them. I've got these things which aren't quite appropriate. Oh, this says funny story, and I kind of was thinking, and the funny story about somebody sending the Ewok might work, so that could go there. That's good. Goodness, fun. Oh, that might work, just because it's non-denominational almost. Here's, oh my gosh, I like you and naps. How perfect for a dog, right? Or an Ewok, what the heck. Okay, and I saved this because I wanted to fussy cut out this, the name of the crepe paper collection that this and some of this other ephemera comes from is called Wild Heart. It's one of my favorite collections in the history of collections. I liked it so much I bought it in digital form, so I have it forever. And it was from, I want to say, the summer of 2018, because it was before I was doing this scrapbooking for the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge. I had brought some scrapbooking supplies with me on a vacation trip, and Ava was on that vacation trip, and I was scrapping a lot of photos of her with this collection because we were at a beach, and this is a kind of a beachy collection, and it was before she was diagnosed, which was in 2019, so it had to be summer of 2018 that this came out, and I absolutely love it. And I thought this little thing that says Wild Heart would perfectly describe Reese, and it would be easier to cut if it were on paper, because it's on the kind of the cardboard packaging with that glossy paper topping. It kind of wants to wrinkle and mess up. Okay, I can make that work. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I'm going to, let's see, which side do we want the heart? I'm going to go with this side. I kind of like that, and I'm going to put lots of foam behind it. Let's see, let me get my stupid paper tape. I wish I had my tape gun, but as you know, I'm on my campaign to use up adhesive that I already own and have already paid for before I pay for any more. And that makes, I could argue that makes my videos longer and maybe use that as an excuse to buy some. So, because I always thought that when I was scrapping on my quote unquote on my own and not videoing, that's when I would use that. But it turns out I don't do a lot of scrapping on my own. I mostly video. So now I need tape on here and here and here. And as you can see, this piece of foam was used to mask a photo when I was doing some splatters. This is going to be the craziest interpretation of this lift. I can't believe I'm not out there die cutting hearts, but again, it's part of my philosophy here that I need to use kits and supplies that I've already kitted rather than going and die cutting and making more supplies just to fit a scrap lift. And I'm clearly being influenced by the scrap lift. I'm also going to pull in this little sticker sheet that I pulled out for Johnny's page the other day. Okay, so now I'm going to do the photo there. And then I'll start placing things. And I'm mostly going to use, for the embellishments, I'm mostly going to use foam tape, so it won't be as hard to stomach as this process. And then I'm just going to use stickers and little tiny acrylic pieces and really kind of one of the things that I love about this is how nicely it's embellished with a large piece, some medium-sized pieces, some slightly smaller pieces, and then you get down to some really tiny ones there. And that balance, Allison has done just an amazing job of balancing all of that. So I'm almost can guarantee you that I won't do as good a job at that as she did, but I'm going to let her piece inspire me to do a better job of it. I've also got, let me pull out these little small things, and I have to remember that I have those butterflies. Okay, these glittery things are buttons, and they came in a button packet. I got that from my secret sister, JoJo Kelly, at the Scrapping Reflections retreat last year, and I hadn't opened the package, but when I did, I used my scissors, the ones that I don't use for fussy cutting. These Tim Holtz scissors will cut anything, but it dulls the blades if you cut things like this. So I cut the backings off of them so that I can use those as tiny embellishments on this page. Okay, so let's just kind of start putting things out here. I have, this says notes, but I don't necessarily want that word notes to show. So I could cover it up with something, but let's just say we're going to do this, and then maybe we have this guy right there. We have the large element. Now I'm filling in some kind of medium-ish ones. And I'm being also influenced. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the book called The Sailor Dog, but it was one of my son's favorite books. And I found we somehow lost track of his copy of it, and I found one for Katie, and then it was passed down and used by all the other kids, and we know where it is. And I know I want that there. Let's see. What else do we have? We have this. And should I cut these butterflies? I kind of like okay, I've got I know that is going to have to go there. I want it on the paper, and I want it kind of above the heart. So that works there. Sun and sea is where I want to be. And then I'll alternate the word ones with the picture ones. And then maybe come down here, work that in behind there. And then I've got this bit. I could actually, let's do this. And I might actually have it kind of sticking out from the heart there. I've got this wild heart bit to kind of put across. I've got this I like you and naps, which could kind of go there. I'm thinking this may not make the cut, so I'm going to put it back in my embellishment box. I can probably use that for color on something, so I'm going to keep it too. I have these bits, which I'm going to go ahead and kind of roughly fussy cut around a couple of them. They are images that look like they were, they're photorealistic, and they're from some supplies that Ava and Allie's grandmother had collected to document her daughters, Ava and Allie's mom's first wedding before she married James, and to Allie's dad. And that wedding was in Hawaii, so she had lots of beachy supplies. And sadly, she passed away before Nikki came into our family, Nikki and Allie. And Nikki gave me all of her scrapbook supplies. So usually when I use them, I try to do a page with Allie or Ava in it, and then I share it with Nikki, showing, you know, her daughters and her mom's supplies. But I'm going to use it on this page with Ava's dog that absolutely fell in love with Allie when Allie was staying here for a bit. And I can probably insert that like there. This is from the same collection as this. And this one I'm possibly going to insert right there. And maybe I'll do this one this way so that we have kind of that. So it's kind of diagonal. Now I have these arrows. I'm thinking that maybe I'll just use this one. I suppose I could use that one there, but I really don't want to cover up that banner. So I'm just going to use that one right there, and then I'll do some small things around it. This ticket I really want to use. This, I think, is from Spectrum Sherbet, and I pulled out a bunch of stuff and didn't use it all, and that's how it ended up in my Scrap Backwards kit. So how about if I did something like this and kind of inserted that right in there. So we'll try that. So I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to put these larger pieces away. I could possibly fussy cut some of these stamps, but I kind of like that as it is and might want to use it down the side of a layout. So I'm going to keep this together as a micro mini kit. I've got this piece right here that could go. Anyway, I'll keep this stuff together as a micro mini kit and use it again. So I'm going to put it back in my Scrap Backwards kit holder, and now I'm going to work on this and use some of these stickers and some of these other things that I have identified. So that's down, this is down. I'm going to put this on. Let me get my tape out, and we'll just kind of start putting this together. There. And then I'm gonna put a couple, I want these things somewhat overlapping, I guess. So I'll do this one this way, and then this one can be on its own, and it'll be a lower, I've got that, well, that'll work, that works okay. There. I'm going to put some liquid glue on this. It's easier said than done. It's getting down to the, down kind of low there, and doesn't stay up in the tip. I need to store it upside down. Should I do it across like that or down here? I'm going to do it here. And let me get this stapled. I'm going to staple it where the staples will show. And I've probably not done that. There we go. It's not going to show, but they need to be that way to kind of hold the angle. So that's okay with me. Okay, there. And this guy needs to go down. And this is one of the, this is an ephemera piece from K and Company. And they used to, it's printed the same on both sides. This one actually has a different tone. This one has a yellower tone. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a side. I want it somewhat coming down there, and then I want this inserted over here. There. And this is from, it's kind of, these are miscellaneous embellishments that I grouped because of their theme. And now I'm trying to figure out which collections they come from. I believe this came from a Kaisercraft collection called Sandy Toes, maybe? I think that's what it was. And I'll put that there. So it's a sailor dog kind of page. It has nothing to do, I do know that Reese loves water. She does love water, and when we take her to the pool, she jumps in. So I'm sure she'd love the beach. Let me get that so that it stays on the page. Okay. Those are the large-ish elements. Seems like I need something down here, so maybe that's a good place for a, well, let's see if we have a sticker that's perfect for it. Let's see. There's going places right here. Let's travel the world together. And there's escape and be right back and adventure and travel. I have to use some sticker from this sheet to fulfill my promise. I'm going to use another arrow with a map on it. And then I've got oh, I don't know. Why not? Let's just go with a couple of tickets that have airplanes on them. And no, it doesn't make any sense, but the colors are perfect. And I can do this butterfly right there. and some other small embellishments just to kind of fill out that side. I need something over here, like I keep saying, and I haven't found it yet. Okay, so let's look at this page. I've got a couple hearts, 3 hearts, 4 hearts. Let's use those around. Even though this one is pink, I'm gonna use it right there. And I can have a kind of collection of them right here, but I need something as a base to put them on. Let me cut that off. I can hide the friends and family bit. And of course I'm doing this with hearts on my fingers. That little red heart will stand out nicely. I'm gonna put this one on some foam. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get the foam. Cut small enough while I have these things on my fingers. Let's see. We'll go with this bigger one here. I'll put that right there. And this one right there. And then this one right there with some foam. There. Okay, so there's a grouping of 3 hearts there. And let's say we add a, let's see, maybe one of these seashells. How about that little seashell there? And I will put foam back there where the and that'll get it up above the level of those hearts. So that's on there. And I missed these things. I do want this up there. How about like that? Yes. That is some, that's a vellum, and that's from a Heidi Swap ephemera pack that came in a Mind the Scrap kit maybe a couple years ago or last year or sometime before now. Okay. And I have these buttons that I'm going to kind of place around. Let's see, that needs to go up there. And I have this little heart kind of a sequin-like heart. And let's put it, well, why not right there? And I have a couple little, well, let's do this chipboard stamp. I like it a lot. Maybe how about here? I can do it without covering up too many of the sun rays there. And I've got this little hibiscus that adds the another little touch of red to kind of go with that heart. Let's do it right there on top of that orange ticket. And I've got a gold heart here. If I can pick it up, and I should have, I thought I saw another one. Yes. And they're both little gold hearts. I'm going to put them together kind of maybe right here. Let me separate them. They're so exactly the same. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to separate them, and I'm going to put the little wooden heart over this one. Because they're very different and they work nicely. And then I will put this one here and use the little glass one, or crystal, it's clear acrylic, of course. To kind of spread the adhesive out so it doesn't show there. And I have this little birdie, maybe right there. It's apropos of nothing, but that's kind of the whole page. Is nothing really matches or fits with with a theme. It's a beach page about a dog and an Ewok, so I'm gonna put this right here, and I'll put another one up here. And then another one, I'm thinking I might like to have one down here, but this one has this wing clipped off. So I'm going to put it here. And I'll use the green one down here. this overall, the background kind of looks green. So I think the green and the gold kind of go nicely there. And I'm gonna add some stars because I have them. And just to kind of dress up with a few details. And these acrylics, as I have no idea where they came from. I just kind of separated out all my acrylics when I started really getting into Bramble Fox. I separated out all my other acrylics so that I would know which ones were Bramble Fox and I could tag them. And the others were from so many different places that I didn't bother about maintaining their identity. So that's why I don't tag when I use those, and I'm kind of trying to use them up because my Bramble Fox collection is growing. Another arrow there. Sun and sea is where I want to be. I'm wondering if that's true about that crazy little dog who looks remarkably like an Ewok. And I'm going to put a starfish here by those stars. And I think I'm going to use a seashell up here as well. See if that sticks there. I think, whoops, I have another star. If you were a star, where would you want to be? I'm going to put it here. And then I have some stickers. I have another type of arrow that I thought I'd add to the mix there. These are made from cork. And I'm keep the rest of those for Calvin ball because sometimes cork, arrows are usually always on the list, but sometimes cork is also. And I've got a little missing piece that came off here, so I'm going to try to see if I can get it back where it belongs. If my tweezers would let go of it, I might be able to make that work. Okay, that's close enough for me. And then I have these little stickers that I somehow thought I would try to fit in. And go figure. I'm gonna do some, I don't like that. It would be okay, except I don't like the little pink. This is coral, obviously. Undersea coral that I'm putting up by a bird. The green coral, I don't mind, but the little pink bits are kind of bothering me. So I may just cut those off and put the sticker back But do I want it there or maybe here? I kind of like it better there. And then I'm going to put that back on. I have, excuse me, a green fish that I somehow want to use. Right there. And if I do that right there, maybe these little pink, I guess I'm going to call them sea urchins, might fit in. So I'm just going to cut the green part from that other coral piece. And I'll put those kind of close together there. And then I've got these that I can kind of spread around individually. There. And I have a couple gray fish. Kind of look like arrows. And I'm just having a blast here. This is the fun part. Okay. I think I'm going to call that done. It's crazy, it's goofy, and I will tell you that I do plan to tell the story, possibly with journaling right around here. There's not enough of that exposed, though, maybe around the edge. But this paper, I may not be able to write too well on this paper, so I may end up doing something that I use washi tape to hold to the back. Is there anything else on these sticker sheets? I like this thing that says Explore Your World, but the only place I could use it would be to cover up You Are My Sunshine. But let me get this out a little bit, if I can. I hid the word I there. There we go. And it's wonky, and that's fine. Ooh, I found another heart. That's a map. So, there. And I have to put at least one geotag on there, and since I've added that color pink, I'm thinking that could work. I'm going to put it right here. Okay. I'm going to say I'd like to put Ewok and Reese, but do I have room? Let's see. I've got E, W, O, K, and I have a question mark right there. And I can cut, I've used I keep using the dots for other things. And so I had to cut up an eye for the dot here under the question mark. And it's a different color, but that's okay. All right, that will stay. And I'm just going to leave it that way. I should have put the Ewok question mark over here, but I think it gets, the point gets across. I actually have another question mark, so I can do this question, do two question marks, and this little piece is just a tiny bit too big. And I normally wouldn't let that bother me, but it's right next to something that's the right size. Let's see if that's different, but it's close enough. It's not in the right place though. There. Okay, so it looks nothing like the Scraplift, but I used my kit and made a cute page. I documented Reese looking like an Ewok, and it's close enough to say that she likes water, and now I need to take her to a beach since I made this page. So thanks for watching. I hope this wasn't too goofy for you. Bye.